Deep in the wilderness, a spider waits patiently in her lair for prey to stumble into. I'm not talking about Sarachnis. I'm talking about its big sister, Venenatis. Let's get started with gear and inventory that you'll need to kill Venenatis. For my inventory, I like to bring Blighted Ice Sacks to cast Ice Barrage on any potential PKers, and by also bringing a Book of Darkness and a regular God Cape, I can boost my magical accuracy to help land freezes on PKers in order to escape. I also bring a Ranging Potion, 3-star Dome and Bruise, 1 Restore, and a 2-dose Stamina and Anti-Poison Potion. This ensures I have enough run energy to escape, I can heal myself if I get poisoned, and I've got Bruise and Restores to heal. The rest of my food is filled with combo eats between Karambwans and sharks, and remember to eat the shark first and then the Karambwan, not the other way around. Finally, I bring a looting bag and a royal seed pod for a 1-click teleport out of level 30 wilderness. For my gear, I bring a Netsanot helm. However, an archer helm would probably be better and cheaper because it gives a better ranged accuracy bonus. I also bring an Ava's accumulator, necklace of anguish, black d'hide, rune gloves, Raba's blessing, snakeskin boots, and a crossbow. My 3 protected items are of course the crossbow, Netsanot helm, and anguish. The crossbow can be downgraded to a magic short bow to reduce your risk and cost at the price of much slower kills. You cannot use a crossbow because it's very important that you have a 3-tick weapon, and we will get into why you need to use a 3-tick weapon when we learn about setting up the safe spot a little later on. My total risk if I'm PK'd is around 94k at the time of this video without praying protect items, so very, very low risk. Of course, dying with the crossbow loses all Revenant Ether charges, and it takes another 1k Ether just to reactivate it, so keep that in mind as that adds a pretty drastic amount to the risk you're bringing into the wilderness. Before venturing out into the wilderness, you should set up 2 important RuneLite plugins and import some critical ground markers. If you're using RuneLite, copy and paste the JSON code from this video's description below, right-click the world map and click Import Ground Markers to ensure that you have the exact tiles that I have marked as this video. The first plugin is called Player Indicators. Make sure it's on, and in the settings, ensure that the Highlight Others checkbox is checked. This will highlight all players while you're in the wilderness, so it'll be easy to spot PKers or skull triggers. The second plugin is called NPC Indicators. This highlights Venenatis herself along with her true tile. In the settings, make sure that highlight tile and highlight southwest tile are checked. By highlighting Venenatis, we know exactly where she's positioned in relation to our marked tiles, and it will make setting up the safe spot much easier. Now, don't forget to turn your PK skull prevention setting on as well. You can optionally leave it off to defend yourself against PKers if and when they attack, but that's a risk that you'll be taking if you get skulled and smited. Venenatis resides around level 30 wilderness just north of the Boneyard. In my opinion, she is my favorite wilderness boss to kill because you can avoid multi-combat and have a 1-click teleport to escape at the same time. The easiest way to get there is to use the Wilderness Obelisk to teleport to the level 19 Wilderness Obelisk and run just northeast from there. If you don't have an obelisk in your player-owned house, you can always just use a Ring of Dueling and go to the Ferox Enclave, as there's an obelisk, stat restoration pool, and bank nearby. My general strategy is to use the Royal Seed Pod to bank at the Tree Gnome Stronghold, and then use the Spirit Tree to teleport back to my POH to restore my stats, and then obelisk from there back to the wilderness where Venenatis resides. And just don't be dumb like me and forget to empty your looting bag at the bank and get PK'd with 700k worth of loot, so always make sure you empty that looting bag while you're at the bank. Other guides will say that setting up the Venenatis safe spot is easy, and it is. However, it will take some practice to get right because it requires precise timing and is extremely fragile. So give yourself some time to practice and potentially die in low risk gear. It is a very consistent safe spot where you'll take 0 damage during the setup and kill if done correctly, and it gets much easier after the initial kill. First off, you'll need to make sure that you have a 3-tick weapon, which is set to the rapid attack style. If you don't know if your weapon is 3-tick, you can always reference the wiki. However, here are some 3-tick range options listed from best to worst. Crossbow, magic shortbow, the longbow will not work, Carl's crossbow, and the hunter's crossbow. It's essential to attack Venenatis every 3 ticks. If you miss an attack too early, attack too late, use a special attack, or eat at the wrong time, it will break the safe spot and Venenatis will attack you. So first, wait at the tile marked wait until Venenatis has moved past the 2 easternmost tiles. Once she is beyond the marked tiles, not on top of them, move to tile number 1 and protect mage. Keep your protection prayers up at all times. If they drop, it'll break the safe spot and you could be instantly killed by one of Venenatis' special attacks. Venenatis will eventually wander back into the row of easternmost tiles, and when she does this, she will do a small turn to face you. Let's play that back again in super slow motion because it's really critical that you can identify when Venenatis does the turn. When she turns like that, that means she has targeted your player. You have to attack her on the same tick that she targets you. Watch frame by frame how she moves into the row of easternmost tiles and does a slight turn to turn towards your player as she targets you. That's precisely when I do my click, so that I'm attacking on the exact same tick that she is targeting me. Here's a few more clips of Venenatis targeting me as it's starting to move towards me. This is when you need to click on her to attack. Again, attacking too slow or too fast will break this safe spot and you'll have to reset by running west to the reset tile. You will need to practice this several times to really get the timing down. However, if it's done correctly, Venenatis will line up her back legs with the 2 easternmost tiles, proceed to move towards you by 2 tiles, and then suddenly stop. And now technically at this point, the safe spot is set up and you could kill Venenatis from where you're standing. However, you are still in multi-combat, so it's recommended to move to tile number 2. It is crucial to remember that you must attack every 3 ticks, or the safe spot will break. My tip here is to move tiles when your character raises their bow or weapon to attack. Look how in this clip, I click tile number 2 right as my character aims its bow. This will ensure that your character moves correctly, but you don't miss any ticks and cause the safe spot to break. Finally, move to tile number 3 using the same strategy as before to get out of multi. Since you need to attack every 3 ticks, you must sip your potions and eat your food with precise timing. You can't eat hard food like sharks, anglers, fish, or pretty much any food in the game because it'll delay your next attack, causing the safe spot to break. You are safe to drink potions and eat karambwans since they are unique and they don't cause a delay to your next attack. So just like moving, you should only eat when your character raises their weapon to attack. And that's really all there is to safe spotting Venenatis. Subsequent kills are going to be a lot easier because Venenatis will simply spawn, look at you, and you just start attacking. There's no real waiting involved. Check out the second kill of the trip, where Venenatis simply spawns in, does the turn to target the player, and I click to attack on the same tick. I wait for Venenatis to line up with the easternmost tiles, move forward and get stuck, and after that, I simply move to tile number 2 when I raise my weapon and move to tile number 3 on my next attack. A perfect setup. So now we're gonna cover what to do when things go wrong while setting up the Venenatis safe spot. I'm gonna show a couple clips where I intentionally mess up the safe spot, and you can take a guess as to what I did wrong. Then I'll go over the same clips and show each error in detail. So this kill actually proceeds fairly normally. I hit him at the right time, he moves into the correct position, and then I move all the way over to tile number 3 correctly. The issue with number 1 here is that I feel the need to eat a piece of hard food, and we are not supposed to eat hard food when fighting Venenatis, only potions or Karambwans. By doing that, it delays my 3-tick attack, and then that gets him out of his safe spot. The real problem with number 2 here is that I move from the wait tile to the number 1 tile while Venenatis is on his easternmost tiles. He needs to be back beyond the easternmost tiles. This causes him to see me and aggro towards me before I'm actually able to attack him, thus making me late. So number 3 is another instance where the initial kill proceeds as normally and as it should. He moves into position, I attack him as soon as he targets me. I move to tile number 2 after he moves up 2 more tiles closer to me, and I also get to tile number 3 successfully. However, I forget that I'm fighting Venenatis and that I'm not allowed to use special attacks, because using a special attack on the magic shortbow actually will delay the next attack, so I'm not hitting him every 3 ticks. This allows him to get out of his safe spot and start attacking me. So the issue with number 4 is I'm actually late to click on him after he targets me. So you'll see he'll walk over right here, he targets me on that tick, and I'm just another tick too slow. This allows him to get a little bit too close to me, and you'll see that he's not lined up with the easternmost tiles. And he'll melee me and get me venomed or poisoned, and so I have to retreat and reset on the tile way back there. The issue with number 5 is in my movement from tile 1 to tile 2. You'll notice that I get him set up correctly, he targets me, I attack him on the correct tick, but when my character raises his weapon, I'm actually a tick slow in moving to tile number 4. This gives a 1-tick gap in which Venenatis is able to escape his safe spot because he's not under attack. My issue with number 6 is I get a little overeager and actually attack too soon. This drags me in towards Venenatis and doesn't set him up correctly in his safe spot. Finally, the issue with number 7 is I'm actually a tick too slow, so you'll notice he will actually see me right now, and I click a little bit too late, and that allows him to get a little too close to me when forcing me to reset. Well, I hope you enjoyed this guide on Venenatis and learned something about how to safe spot him effectively. Once you get the timing down, it becomes a really simple and AFK boss, I promise. If you're having issues or getting spoon pets, please let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps my channel grow. Thank you and have a great day.
Everybody on the fake shit, I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't